Welcome to Fisher News. I'm Chris Murray.
And I'm Caitlin Murphy. Two faculty members at St. John Fisher College received a $100,000 grant from the National Endowment for the Humanities, NEH, which will fund a project aimed at generating discussions of duty, patriotism, and loyalty among Rochester-based veterans through the exploration of World War I and the Afghanistan-Iraq counterinsurgencies. The college is just one of 15 recipients of the NEH's Special Dialogues on the Experience of War grant program, which supports the study and discussion of important humanities sources about war and military service. Set to launch in spring 2018, it will be managed by Dr. Carolyn Vaca, Associate Professor and Chair of the History Department, and will include Dr. Frederick Dotolo, Associate Professor of History.
Phi Theta Kappa, the oldest, largest, and most prestigious honor society recognizing students pursuing two-year degrees, has added St. John Fisher College to its transfer honor roll for the second year in a row. Fisher was named the 2017 Transfer Honor Roll. The list identifies 65 four-year colleges and universities for creating dynamic pathways to support community college transfer students. Applications were judged based on engagement, collaboration, impact, and achievements related to the transfer of community college students, as well as partnerships, support, admissions outreach, scholarships and financial aid, student engagement opportunities, and institutional priorities.
Sometimes students make the best teachers. That's the case for a group of undergraduates in the Wegman School of Nursing who developed a resource tool that helps nurses and clinical students teach parents about an innovative way to practice safe sleep habits for their newborns. 5 students, Mary Broderick, Emily Gates, Emma Kubik, Danielle it's Daniel. Okay, I have a picture of them too, so we're gonna go from 5 students. 5 students, Mary Broderick, Emily Gates, Emma Kubik, Daniel Pontera, and Courtney Warfel, and Professor Joanne Reidenschreider's Maternal and Childbearing Family course, taught at Newark Wayne Community Hospital, developed the resource guide around how to use the Halo Sleep Sack, a new product that replaces traditional swaddling methods for newborns and helps prevent sudden infant death syndrome. For many students, it was their first time using a wearable blanket, and they struggled with how to provide direction on its use and purpose. To fill that educational gap, they conducted a literature review on safe sleep and crafted instructions on how to teach parents about the wraps.
A group of 17 students from St. John Fisher College's chapter of the American Marketing Association, AMA, won 7 awards during the 39th Annual American Marketing Association International Collegiate Conference, held in New Orleans, Louisiana, this March. Fisher students took part in 4 individual competitions at the conference, and the group participated in more than 12 for the entire academic year. Under faculty advisor Dr. Monica Hodis and professors Ron Sicker, Fisher's AMA placed in the top 25 international chapters in competition with over 200 worldwide chapters. This prestigious award recognizes excellence in 5 categories: chapter planning, professional development, fundraising, community service, and membership.
3-time Sports Emmy Award winner Michelle Girardi-Zumwalt of 04 delivered the 2017 Lobeen Lecture in the Humanities on Wednesday, April 5th in Basel 135. Girardi-Zumwalt, a senior producer with Pagula Sports and Entertainment, delivered the lecture, What Are the Snake Pits? The story behind telling Kayvon Seymour's story. The talk went behind the scenes of the making of The Snake Pits, That's Where I Grew Up, a short film about Buffalo Bills cornerback Kayvon Seymour and his journey to the NFL. The short was produced as a part of a series of videos, Beyond the Blue and Red, which aims to raise awareness of the players and tell a different side of their story. During the lecture, she discussed the idea behind the Beyond the Blue and Red series and the planning and logistics that went into producing the video spots, and how the team uses music, sound, and visual effects to create an emotional connection with audiences and capture their attention from start to finish.
The 2017 Lost Science Lecture Series at St. John Fisher College will feature renowned chemist Dr. Ronald H. Kluger. His lecture, Hemoglobin plus Chemistry equals a substitute for red cells in transfusion, will take place at 7 p.m. on Tuesday, April 11th in Basel 135 and is free to the public. Kluger has authored or co-authored more than 200 papers for academic publications, including the Journal of Organic Chemistry, Journal of the American Chemical Society, and Biochemistry, among others. Throughout his career, he has been given many awards, and in 2006 was given the CIC Medal, and the highest honor given by the Chemical Institute of Canada. Kluger received his bachelor's degree from Columbia University and doctoral degree from Harvard University.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Fisher Sports Desk. I'm your host, Ricky Barton. In a very exciting week of sports, we saw the men's lacrosse team take on East Ave rival Nazareth College in a pivotal Empire 8 game.
Just over a minute into the action, TJ Van Dusen dodges from behind, finds Drew Brown for the goal. Cardinals took the early 1-0 lead. Rosso with the dodge takes the shot, saved by the goalie. Nick Papianikos with the ground ball, who finds Rosso, who finds Van Dusen top shelf for the Cardinal goal, 3-1. Fourth quarter action here. After a back and forth contest, Nick Papianikos dodges his defender, burns him from behind the cage, and that'll do it for the Cardinals. Up 10-7. The Cardinals would go on to win 10-8. Andrew Rosso finished with 4 goals and 1 assist. Senior attackman Drew Brown and Nick Papianikos each finished with 2 goals, and senior goalie Tanner Swan played all 60 minutes and made 16 saves.
The nationally ranked Fisher women's softball team faced off against crosstown foe RIT this week and won by a score of 7-1. 5 of those 7 runs came in the 5th inning. Carly Neely had a solid game with 3 RBIs, and Monica Moses earned the W on the mound to move herself to 7-0 on the season. With the win, Fisher moves to 17-3 this year and ranks 7th in the national poll. The St. John Fisher men's baseball team was also in action this week as they took on RIT as well. In a close back-and-forth game, Fisher would catch the win in extra innings. Ryan Fahey's solo home run in the 8th inning tied the game at 6. And it was Fahey again in the 10th inning with a sacrifice fly that would score senior Ryan Prevost to collect the win 7-6. Frankie Carnevale had a great day at the plate as he went 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs in the day. Pitcher Kyle Chambers collected the win on the mound and moved himself to 2-2 this year. The baseball team has won 7 of their last 8 and has a current record of 12-6 this season. In other sporting news, we saw the 2017 NCAA March Madness men's basketball tournament come to a close as the University of North Carolina Tar Heels were crowned champion Monday night against the Gonzaga Bulldogs with a score of 71-65. Coach Roy Williams captured his 3rd national championship as UNC's head coach, and Joel Berry led all scorers with 22 points and 6 assists. That's all we have this week. Thank you for tuning in to Fisher Sports. Now back to the news studio.
We'll be right back with city and state news after this break.
Listen, I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you judge me for having a problem. No one is going to know that I need help. I need help. I know that no one is going to judge me for having a problem. I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you listen.
Welcome back to Fisher News. The Fourth Amendment protects Americans against unreasonable searches and seizures, but it doesn't offer the same protections at America's borders. A new bill introduced in Congress aims to change that. Scott McLean has more on what you need to know.
It's no secret the Trump administration is beefing up border security, and sometimes that means border agents are searching the laptops or phones of American citizens. Well, now there's a group of lawmakers on Capitol Hill that wants to put a stop to those searches unless there's a warrant. The number of electronic searches went up sharply last year under the Obama administration. Customs agents conducted around 24,000 electronic searches in 2016, up from around 5,000 the year before. The sponsors of the bipartisan bill argue that the Constitution and Americans' Fourth Amendment rights against unreasonable searches and seizures should apply at border crossings as well. Right now, you don't have the same rights at the border that you do inside the country. Border agents can search you, they can search your bags or your phone, they can even ask for the passwords of your social media accounts or the PIN to your phone itself. So what happens if you say no? If you're an American citizen, they can't deny you entry, but they can delay your entry by detaining you for several hours. They could also take your phone or laptop for further inspection. So does this bill have any chance of passing? Well, it won't be easy. Traditionally, these sorts of privacy bills haven't passed without a lot of effort, not to mention this one is competing for oxygen with a laundry list of other things on the congressional agenda. In Washington, I'm Scott McLean.
No deal on legislation to repeal and replace Obamacare is expected before the lawmakers head home for a 2-week break. A senior administration source and 2 senior GOP congressional aides acknowledged that there's no agreement. House Speaker Paul Ryan said they're not trying to rush through it.
Nearly 24 students were taken to the hospital after their school bus was involved in this accident Wednesday morning. About 45 6th grade students from the Bartlett School in Lowell were on a field trip heading into Boston to see the symphony. There were 8 buses carrying the students when a vehicle abruptly changed lanes in front of a bus, causing the bus driver to brake sharply. A van behind the bus was unable to stop in time and rear-ended the bus. Chris Velez says his niece was injured.
It looked like a mess. The bus is pretty, the van itself looked like it hit pretty hard.
State police say the students taken to the hospital have non-life-threatening injuries. The van driver was not injured.
Pepsi has yanked the Kendall Jenner ad and apologized to the reality star for putting her in a bad position. The commercial shows Jenner joining protesters. She then hands a Pepsi to the police, and protesters celebrate. Social media lit up with criticism of the ad, saying it mocked protesters against police violence. Pepsi issued a statement saying the ad was designed to send a global message of unity, peace, and understanding, adding, "Clearly, we missed the mark and we apologize."
The 121st Boston Marathon is less than 2 weeks away. Safety preparations are underway. A large law enforcement presence will be at the race with 5,000 uniform and plainclothes officers patrolling the route. And there will be security checkpoints where officers may ask to inspect bags. Officials are asking everyone at the race to keep their eyes open.
We ask that everybody attending the event be aware of their surroundings, be vigilant, and if they see something, say something. If they see something that simply doesn't feel right, report it to the nearest public safety officer or call 911.
The FBI says they have no specific credible threats related to the marathon, but they are not taking any chances.
Donald Trump is defending Fox News host Bill O'Reilly. Trump told the Times, "Personally, I think he shouldn't have settled because you should have taken it all the way. I don't think Bill did anything wrong." O'Reilly has denied the claims against him. More than 20 companies have pulled their advertising from the O'Reilly factor as of Wednesday. Lisa Bloom, the lawyer for one of the O'Reilly accusers, has called for an independent investigation of Fox News. The National Organization for Women has called for him to be fired. And that's all the time we have for Fisher News. For this and other Cardinal Television programs, check us out on Time Warner Cable Channel 12.
Also be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at Cardinal Television Fisher. For Fisher News, I'm Caitlin Murphy.
And I'm Chris Murray.